Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Red-headed Nahida is almost out, Tribbie is almost out, and before I release an evaluation on Tribbie, I thought it would be useful to share my opinion on the characters in HSR that gained the most out of Tribbie. Before starting this video, I just want to point out that Tribbie is one of those characters that works well practically anywhere. She's not like a Fugue who is designed more for specific characters. Tribbie works in almost every team well enough compared to cheap options. This video only takes in the smaller section of characters that utilize her full kit to the best of Tribbie's ability that makes her stand out from other harmonies. With that out of the way, here are the top 5 winners of Tribbie's kit in no particular order. Starting off with the non-erudition picks is Blade. Blade is one of the characters of all time, for sure. Theoretically, it's a really good idea. Tribbie scales off other characters' HP, which Blade has a lot of. Blade is mostly blast with AoE, which means Tribbie's much better than Robin. And of course, Tribbie has universal buffs that Blade for once doesn't really hate, compared to Robin's massive attack buff, which does nothing for Blade. So that should mean Tribbie is Blade's best support, right? Well, typically in any Blade team at this point, he really wants Sunday, and in situations where Robin would lose to Tribbie, which is around 3-2 target fights, Blade prefers Jade's HP drain to actually do more AoE in the first place, which means that Tribbie will mostly be showing up for a sustainless team. And don't get me wrong, it's actually surprisingly really good, especially in the current meta. But if you're not confident on your sustainless teams, you might not be so hot on Tribbie. Also, the worst part is being embarrassed that Jade does more damage than Blade in his best team. But anyway, if you don't have Sunday, then there's not much else you can really do, and pulling on Tribbie will at least keep you held over for a while if you're a Blade user. It's nice to see a Blade buff. He rarely does get buffs, and I sure hope that Blade survives for a bit longer and no character becomes too similar to his functionality. Second destruction character is Yunli. Yunli is a character that does a lot of blast on her counter and has bounce hits on her enhanced counter, which functionally means she does a lot of AoE. Yunli buffs herself with quite a lot of crit damage on her ultimate that comes very frequently. This is perfect for Tribbie. Yunli has so much blast that happens often that she can charge Tribbie's energy really well, and her cheap ultimate means you'll trigger Tribbie's follow-up attack much easier. That was a tongue twister. You cannot believe how many takes I had to say that. Yunli's guaranteed taunt could also make Tribbie's energy generation much more consistent through enemy hits. And if that wasn't enough, Yunli and Tribbie side by side could be enough for your sustainless Yunli teams at a much more comfortable ease of use than Blade. The only real problem is that you can make the case that Yunli isn't really picky and has a wide assortment of supports outside of Robin that she does well enough with, RMC for example. But her synergies with Tribbie should be recognized, especially on Tribbie's energy generation from Yunli's taunt. While Aglaea is more leaned into single target and has blast, Aglaea is still an incredible teammate for Tribbie. Triggering additional damage twice so many times means that Tribbie's energy generation is very good. Tribbie honestly is the closest Aglaea has right now as a additional damage sub DPS, but that's not all. Currently for Aglaea, her best team comes down to Sunday with RMC or Robin. In RMC's case, because Tribbie's buffs are a field, Aglaea's fast speed will not be eating through Tribbie's potent buffs, and will affect Garment Maker too. That means Tribbie becomes a huge upgrade for RMC and Aglaea teams. In Robin's case, her attack buff becomes meaningless as Aglaea already has so much attack. With Tribbie's rare res penetration and vulnerability, she provides much better damage amp on top of AoE additional damage rather than single target, which Aglaea likes more. Biggest problem is Aglaea's energy. Without her E1, she leans a lot into Robin due to the extra actions providing extra energy. With energy-based buffs in endgame modes, Tribbie in showcases may look a lot better than advertised. Without that vertical investment, you may see Tribbie performing more underwhelmingly, but with enough of Tribbie's screenshot damage enabling, you may reach the threshold where your ultimate may never go down in a low cycle clear even at E0. Either way, if you want to main E0 Aglaea and you already have Sunday, Tribbie is an excellent choice for a third slot character. Tribbie is an all-rounder that scales the best with more AoE attacks, and which sustain or even just out of the entire roster in general has the highest amount of targets in every action. That's right, Lingsha. Previously, Robin would have been the best Lingsha support in her teams as an AoE driver, but Tribbie has so much more advantages compared to Robin for Lingsha. Lingsha already builds quite a number of attack on her own, and does have relevant break damage. Robin's attack buff means less, and Robin can't really help with the other. Tribbie can support both since her buffs have a very hard time of being diluted, and it does affect break damage. Additionally, Tribbie simply does more damage in AoE than Robin ever will. There's only one reason why I can't fully advertise Tribbie for Lingsha. because Lingsha does already have insanely good options with Ranmei, HMC, Fugue, Sunday, and Jade. This is not an insult to Lingsha at all, it's just that Lingsha really is so good that you're fine without Tribbie for now. Lingsha is the most versatile character in the game that it's very likely you already have a more than good enough team available for Lingsha as a driver, or as a generic sustain, or main break DPS that Tribbie may become unnecessary. In fact, you may simply not have enough team slots to run Tribbie with how many combos you can run with Lingsha that it becomes a matter of preference. With that said, if you really want specifically a huge bump to crit based Lingsha teams either as a carry or a driver, Tribbie is the best pickup you can ever make. And we come to the top of the list. This is probably the most obvious thing you've ever seen. It's not just one character though, but a whole group of them. The Herta and every erudition. Yes, every single one of them. Except of course for Rappa. Let's start with the big shark Herta. Herta does really well with AoE spammers. Guess who else does well with AoE spammers? Tribbie. Generally Herta's best supports are Serval and Argenti, both of which are huge AoE ultimate spammers. Triggering the follow-up attack from Tribbie is no issue at all and gives massive energy for herself and the Herta. In addition, the Herta buffs herself quite a bit and the team gets a lot of crit damage and attack. Tribbie's buffs are again so rare that the Herta gains much more from Tribbie than any other support. And since Tribbie is a field character, she will also buff the second erudition the Herta is trying to run. Her SP generation also fares a bit better than Robin due to how fast Tribbie can get with the Windset and DDD. To go to the other eruditions, Jade buffs herself with massive crit damage and does a lot of follow-ups. Perfect for Tribbie. Himiko and Small Herta really like Tribbie too, though with Himiko you may have to go sustainless due to her reliance on Fugue and Ranmei, which isn't a bad idea at all. Jingyuan and Qingque are hyper carries, but Qingque really appreciate Tribbie's non-diluted buffs. Same with Jingyuan, who can work in single target, but often likes AoE, which gives Tribbie an advantage. Of course, Sunday will always be better for a Jingyuan team, but it's best to run both. Again, the only erudition that doesn't benefit is the one that focuses on Super Break, but it's not like that unit is suffering anytime soon. She doesn't really need Tribbie. It's not an exaggeration to say that Tribbie is a balanced character that primarily is the best with AoE characters, or potential max HP scalers. It's hard to gauge how good she will be in the latter, but Tribbie's value compared to Robin will fluctuate on how much they will spam AoE content or non-attack / break scalers, which doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. Either way, it's clear as day that erudition is the biggest Tribbie salesman in the entire game. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, do the algorithm stuff. I am a little bit sick again, so I'm sorry if I'm not uploading as much as usual or there's not enough effort. I really can't script very good videos today, but I just wanted to throw this out there because it's been in the back burner for a while and the script was almost finished anyway. But yeah, that's all from me, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.